Greetings, blade fans. So what have we got for you here today in this bright orange box? Kind of pelican-esque, if that's a word, hearkening to the original Pelican waterproof, hermetically sealed cases. This is sort of a knockoff of one of those, but before I show you the case, let's show you the knife. Why not? And you can barely see it, because it's a murdered out, blacked out version. Here you can see a sticker from Vosteed and a patch from Vosteed. I thought this was an interesting sticker. They always do comical things with dogs. And yes, this is the Dachsund. So they've got a little sticker here called the sausage dog. And we're going to show you the knife. Really, there's the case with complete with the gasket and everything. It's kind of cool. So if you don't use it for the knife, you can use it for your phone if it'll fit in there, or your watch, or other valuables that you don't want to have get wet. Maybe you're out in your kayak. All right, enough blabbering about things that aren't the knife, right? Here is, whoop, come on, let's do a better presentation than that. It is a bar lock, and therefore doesn't have a real crisp detent as with most bar locks, but it is extremely smooth. And it's all titanium handle. It is an M390 blade. It is in their more exclusive realm of knives, the upper level knives, similar to the RS Chaos and some of those that came out similarly packaged. Similarly packaged? Okay. It's early. Can I say that 10 times? No, I won't even try. But we've got a very nice stone-washed black here with gold colored or brass colored thumb studs, and what else? Other appointments that are contrasting there are the pin for the lanyard, should you want to use one, and the back standoff. Otherwise, it's a wide open knife with jimping that's a little on the smooth side. I'm not really sure that's really that effective. You get a little bit of grab there. And very smooth. Some of the reviews I saw on this before I got a hold of one were really highlighting how smooth that is. And you still do need to grab both thumb studs. That, to me, is just a little disappointing. There are knives out there, of course, such as the Ram lock, and a few of the Axis style locks, I believe, where you only need to pull back on one. On this one, you just can't get it. Maybe with a lot of strength you can, but you can still swing it out if you pinch them both. It's a medium-sized knife. It is not small. it is not large. We're going to do some specifications on it right now. So we've got a 7 3/4 inch knife overall, and 3 1/4 inches of blade with like 3 1/8 cutting edge. And handle's pretty thin, 0.47, with the blade stock 0.11. So something tells me that's going to be 3 millimeters. No, 2.8. So thin and somewhat slicey, which we're going to try in a moment. See if that test is passed. Weight, 3.44. So a nice light knife that I got to give it a little wrist. You can roll it out nicely. But we just want to take a peek inside and see if we've got any weight relieving, shall we? No, as with, let's see. Oh, there is. Yep, I'm so sorry. Difficult to see that black, but I'm looking now through the camera as you're seeing through the camera. And yeah, there are some weight relieving pockets towards the butt end of the knife, but nothing up front. other than what's necessary to hold the locking mechanism. Now they do give you 2 additional omega springs, and I'm hearing that these are a little stronger perhaps than the one that is in the knife that comes pre-installed. Meant to show you this in case you want to screenshot that. That's all the model number, etc. for the knife. Getting back to the knife, it is a front flipper. You don't run into too many front flippers that are bar locks. I'm going to roll it out because I haven't had much success in flipping it out. Again, with bar lock or axis lock style knives, you have a soft detent. So it's in there, and yep, you can shake it out. So perhaps if you wanted a stronger retention, you would try installing those omega springs. I've never installed omega springs. I guess I'm a little reticent because it's a little tricky, and the hand's been kind of out of commission for a while up until now, so haven't tried it on any of the recent ones. Looking at the clip, we've got a pretty good ramp in and ramp out, about the same. I'd say probably the ramp out is a little steeper or a little bit lower incline, I meant to say. Not deep carry, not too many titanium clips are, but not bad. And it is switchable. So there's your blank. You can see that. You remove that screw in that blank and it keys in on the other side. So there's one screw, but it's keyed in, so it's not going to shift from side to side. That's a good way to do it, and it's usually the way that it's done. So double thumb studs, removable. Should you want to go front flipper only? Personally, I wouldn't, and I'm not a front flipper sort of a guy. I don't like to do more work than I need to getting a knife open. Thumb studs are perfect for me, and they were some of the original methods of one-handed opening. Even some of my old custom knives going back to the 80s, and some of the Mel Perdue knives I had, the customs, which I wish I kept. Be worth a lot of money now, along with some Terzolas, but I got in and out of the game. What can I tell you? I sold everything off and restarted about maybe 6-7 years ago, and have amassed quite a few. Gonna sell some off. So this knife also comes in a version that looks similar to this White Mountain exclusive RS Chaos knife. This had come out earlier under another name, and you'll probably tell me what the name is. I can't recall at the moment. I love it. It's by RS Knife Works design. It is a button lock. At any rate, the knife they sent me, and I should have mentioned that, yes, the good folks at Vosteed sent me this for evaluation and consideration. So I thank them very much. It's not a cheap knife. These are going for around the $200 mark from White Mountain. I will leave you the links. They didn't have, or they weren't able to send me the satin version. So there is a satin version of this knife with the clear titanium handle scales. Love this knife. Beautiful look. Forward choil, yeah, you remove some of the cutting edge, etc. It's got the compound grind. I did a review on this, so if you're interested in learning more about the RS Chaos, then you can look it up on the channel. Getting back to the Dachshund. It is, as I said, a medium-sized knife, having a 3 1/4 inch blade and a little less than 8 inches overall. Light in the hand at 3.44 ounces. And let's do a compare with, let's say, this guy, the Rat 1. Ontario Rat 1. I understand Ontario's back in business making knives, I think. So a little over an inch longer overall, and at least a 1/2 inch longer blade. Makes sense. It's about a 3 3/4 inch knife. Up against another Vosteed. Here's the Valkyrie. This is a cool button lock, one of my favorite EDC knives. And it's just about the same size as the Valkyrie with, yep, same size blade, everything. This is a Trex lock, a button lock. Sachs design, they call it the Sachs, but you could call it a Wharncliffe, you could call it a sheep's foot, a long sheep's foot, whatever. But this one comes with 3 opening methods. You got a back flipper, a front flipper, and the thumb studs. I tend to use the back flipper and the thumb studs. Again, not a real big front flipper guy, but it carries beautifully in the pocket. The clip is switchable, etc., etc. One more compare. Something I'm carrying today is the Microtech MSI, and this happens to be in the molded FRN handled version. You can see that's a much bigger knife, and you can see that that blade is almost an inch longer. This is coming up on 4 inches, so I like large knives, you know. And although that one is a what they call a ram lock, and this one is a bar lock, they function much the same, except you notice I still need to pinch both. I can't work that because what happens is that the bar twists a little bit, and you don't get an even withdrawal of the bar from locking up on the knife. But I would carry this simply because I think it is, for me, ample size. It is extremely light. It's not a pocket anchor. And in case I didn't mention it, I would call that a reverse Tonto, if that's the way we're going. It's got a nice wedge on the top. Any other appointments here that I should be talking about? Nice stone wash. If you like that murdered out look with a little bit of class there on the thumb studs, I think it's nice. And one thing we didn't do is try the sliciness. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. One more. I'd say it's pretty good out of the box, and I don't think I recall stropping this up as I do sometimes, even on new knives that I'm going to show you, just because sometimes the way they come from the factory, they may have a, you know, I wouldn't call it a burr, but sometimes you need to align that edge a little bit, and stropping is the perfect method for doing that. I like what Jared Neve says regarding knife sharpness. If you got a new knife and it's sharp, at the first signs of it being dull, strop it, and then strop it again, and so on and so forth. If stropping won't make it sharp, go to ceramic. And then finally, when ceramic won't work, you go to your diamond or your stone or what have you. Personally, I use a couple different sharpening systems from Worksharp. Isn't their name kind of a takeoff on the Workshop? Sure it is. And I use their, what is it? Their Professional Precision Professional. Just came out with it about a year or so ago. Excellent sharpener. Previous to that, I sometimes still do use my TS Prof Cadet. And I also use the Worksharp Field Sharpener. Say that 10 times. All right, getting to the point where I'm rambling on, so we're almost 15 minutes here, and I am going to bid you adieu. See you next time. Got more good stuff to show you. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe.